All right. Now we're recording.
दिलीप पाठाडे भाऊ ओके ना तुम्हाला इंग्लिशमध्ये प्रॉब्लेम नाही ना ओके सो हिअर वी गो Baba's work, the heading is Discipline Intensifies, Must Travels, Seclusions. Baba's work with the must continued as January 1948 unfolded. On one occasion, Baba was using William's room at Meherkrupa for seclusion with one of the musts. This may have interrupted William's work on the wayfarers, although he probably found an alternate writing perch nearby. Perch means basera, nazdik mein. So I tried to find out which room was this. If you, either of you have any idea, please let me know. I asked the caretaker there, Meher Raj Khedkar at Meherazad, which was that room which was used by Baba for a must work and where the wayfarers was being written. No idea. Maybe someone else will tell. On January 30, 1948, Baba and the ashram received the shocking news of the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. Baba and Gandhi had met on the steamer Rajputana in 1931 when Gandhi was on his way to the Indian Round Table Conference in London and Baba was making his first trip to the West. I don't think it was first. First trip Baba was in Nasik in 1929 or 30. He went to Iran. Acha, okay, West. Okay. Baba had always praised Gandhi's sincerity and honesty in life. Later in February, the Mandali and Baba got together to look over published articles on Gandhi's life. Baba seized the occasion to question the Mandali on their feelings. बाबा ने मंडली से पूछा कि वो महात्मा गांधी के बारे में क्या सोचते हैं. People regard Gandhi as a Mahatma. What do you take me to be? And do you wish to hold on to me till the very end? Baba is asking to Mandali. He also added, if any of you really feels confused or disappointed over my status, he should be rendering me a great service by leaving me. I want you to be honest to yourself and to me. I am what I am, what I really want and will ever be. So once and for all, think well before you decide. That was the period when many were following Mahatma Gandhi, and that discussion had taken between Mandli also. So that might have provoked Baba to put this question to Mandali. मंडली से बाबा ने पूछा कि आप गांधी के बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, मेरे बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, अगर आप मुझे क्या समझते हैं, जो मैं हूँ आप मुझ में विश्वास नहीं कर सकते तो ये अच्छा होगा कि आप मुझे छोड़कर चले जाएं. He instructed each of the mandali to give him a written and signed reply. Very important. Replies received from 4 of the Western women mandali indicate their loyalty. Wonderful. Norina. Norina writes for Baba, in you, I believe. For you, I am ready to live and die. Wow. So nice. Norina Matchbelly writes, in you I believe. Elizabeth writes, one thing I know, if you had not come into my life, there would have been no other master for me. Having come, there is no other way for me. Ah. 'Kitty' Devi writes, 'Kitty' Devi writes, one thing I know, if you had not come into my life, there would have been no other master for me. Having come, there is no other way for me. Kitty Devi writes, 'Kitty' Devi writes, one thing I know, if you had not come into my life, there would have been no other master for me. Having come, there is no other way for me. Your love brought me to you. Your love has kept me with you. And your love will be bind me to you till the end. Ranogili writes, the one certainty in my life is you, beloved Meherkrupa. I am yours and always will be yours. Now, so nice it is. See, everyone in their unique style. Ne? Someone has regarded him as a master, someone has given importance to love, someone has told about the certainty, someone has about the belief. Wonderful it is. The Glimpses account also gives positive comments from a dozen other Eastern Mail Monthly members. A reply from William Donkin was not published in the account. Throughout February 1948, Baba made numerous overland journeys, washing the feet of the poor, making cash donations to villages, and passing out grain bundles. This was the drought period. Contacting must continue to take a lot of Baba's time, and when William was not writing the wayfarers, he would accompany him on these trips. William picked up more information for his book on such journeys as evidenced by one of his entries in the published work. He writes, a person of inquiring mind may wonder whether musk may be found in other parts of the world, and if they are not, then why it is that India alone is gifted with such souls? दुनिया के बाकी हिस्सों में मस्त मिलते हैं क्या? ऐसा क्यों कि भारत में ही इतने मस्त हैं? Baba, in explaining this paradox to his disciples, told them once that India was nearest to the creation point and was therefore the most significant country in the world in the realm of spirituality. It was for this reason, yes, this Baba has explained in the creation and causes also. It was for this reason he explained that there were very few musts outside of India and none in Europe or the Americas, although there were mystics, saints, and God lovers there. It's therefore not surprising that in the Western world there are, as far as I am aware, no traditions about these God intoxicated souls, and that when a Westerner is confronted for the first time by ascetic characteristics of a must, his reaction is quite possibly one of incredulity and abhorrence. Abhorrence मतलब अविश्वास, घृणा, मतलब पाश्चात्य लोग पहली बार मस्क को देखेंगे तो शायद वो घृणा करेंगे क्योंकि वो दिखते इतने गंदे हैं. Earlier in 1948, Baba asked followers to adhere to 5 orders from February 1 to 25. To take 1 meal a day and tea or coffee only twice. Second order, to observe silence. To feed every day one poor person with one's own hands, a different person each day. Very difficult. To abstain absolutely from any sexual relations whatsoever. To meditate 1 hour each day. Followers, even those in the West, were asked to return the signed list of orders and indicate which ones they were to fulfill. In many instances, a back and forth correspondence ensued on particular interpretations of the orders. Baba was pleased if participants were sincerely trying to observe the orders he gave. Mass tours to the Bombay and Calcutta regions continued throughout March. It is very hot in March. Baba had a great love for animals, and one of the monks he found, called Maharaj, shared this devotion to animals. According to William, one bullock was very attracted to the must. Wow, there is a wonderful story here. Unbelievable. There was one spirited brown and white bullock that would lick him all over with his tongue. The musk would screw up his eyes when his face was being licked, or would lie supine between the four legs of the bullock while the front of his body was licked from head to foot. बाप रे यहाँ पर देखो, एक मस्त महाराज नाम के उनके पशुओं के प्रति बहुत प्रेम था। तो जो उनका बैल था, जो भूरे और सफेद रंग का था, ये महाराज का पूरा शरीर अपनी जिह्वा से उनको पोंछ देता था, जिह्वा से उनको चाट देता था। उनका चेहरा भी, यहाँ तक कि वो महाराज उसके चार पैर के बीच में सो करके उसको पूरा अपने सर से लेके पैर तक उसको अपना शरीर जिह्वा से चाटने देते थे। So lying supine means पीठ के बल लेटना. By the time March 1948 came, William's 400-page manuscript about the must was already in the hands of the splinters. Well, because Baba's work with the must continued, William felt obligated to continue tracking the activity. He did so until August 1st, 1949, and this material, while first published as a separate pamphlet, eventually found itself into the Wayfarers as two supplements totaling 70 pages. The added sections covered two separate mouse hunting periods, mid-March 1948 to mid-May 1948 and June 8, 1948 to August 1st, 1949. And Donkin had come in Baba's contact only in 1931. Again, the must travels could not be billed as a picnic. The first half of April 1948 was spent in Himalayas of northern India, especially in the village of Uttar Kashi. Later, this village was totally gone under water when they made a dam. There is a footnote, I think. I will read that. And now also this year, during heavy rains and landslides, it's again gone totally. Anyway, Uttar Kashi is a holy city with many ashrams and temples in a hilly area. The region has many small and large rivers and is known for its excellent trekking. उत्तर काशी आप लोगों को पता होगा, ये इसके बीच में गंगोत्री और वो संगम है ना, देवप्रयाग संगम के बीच में उत्तर काशी था. Later, some big dam was made, and this original small village was submerged in the waters. So they had shifted this village 15 miles away from that place and rehabilitated. Anyway, William describes the area as a series of rivers and estuaries where the sacred Ganges is born. About halfway between the source of the Bhagirathi, as the Ganges is called here, and the confluence of Devaprayag is the village of Uttar Kashi, famous as a center for spiritual aspirants, yogis, and advanced souls. Uttar Kashi is the focal point, for it was to this little village that Baba went in April 1948. Uttar Kashi is not high by Himalayan standards, for it lies less than 4,000 feet above sea level. But to get there, the traveler must ride or walk along the stony track from Tehri Garhwal to distance of some 40 miles. So there is a footnote about Tehri Garhwal. Tehri Garhwal is an agrarian district where people farm on the hillsides. It runs from the Himalayas to the foothills at Rishikesh. Recently, the river was dammed and a lake submerged the town, which was rebuilt 15 miles away. This is Tehri Garhwal. A huge dam has been built up in Tehri Garhwal. The whole village has gone there. William, perhaps hearkening, matlab sunna, William, perhaps hearkening back to his Sahara experience and his mountaineering exploits, appeared to relish such Baba initiated adventure.
Meherkrupa appears to be frozen. Wonder if we should go on. Well, maybe I'll continue.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
She's I think she was gonna may have to go out to, or come in again. She's just done that. Sushima, we can't. You're muted. You're muted. Can you unmute?
Try थी. Participant not visible.
I wonder if she's going to come back.
She is trying to reconnect.
Well,
You can
we
start.
can start. Yeah, might as
Yeah,
well.
you can start.
Have you read
Yes.
anything further? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh,
You were
My-
out.
no, we waited. We waited. So again, the
Okay,
track.
so I'll start from where will. I'm sorry, my laptop.
Yeah.
I don't know, something happened with it. So, am I audible?
Yes. Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Good to go.
So I'll start where we left.
Okay.
Interesting how they traveled through the Himalayas. It was very difficult those days. Whoever went on the pilgrimage from India, they never thought that the person will be back alive. It was so dangerous. Deep valleys, no transportation arrangements. You have to walk or you have to go just like that. And deep valleys, anytime you may fall in the valley and all those many incidents. And that Baba has done. And William had accompanied Baba who had trekking experience. So he relished it.
Right.
Again, the trek he described was no casual stroll. Mind it, William, who was a member of that famous club, Alpine Club,
Right.
where traffic of any kind was unable to move on the rough roads, and even depending on mules and ponies was a nuisance in such rugged terrain. Mules and ponies मतलब खच्चर और टट्टू भी नहीं थे उस समय में. Now there are ponies and mules. That time it was also not available. Most travelers find pack animals tiresome and unreliable, and the backbone of Himalayan transport in India is the back of the Nepalis or the dhoti al potto. This tough little man will carry up to 60 pounds over the roughest sort of country, and I have seen them walk barefoot on hard snow for several hours without complaints. William again took time to reflect on Baba's work with the must in the first of the Wayfarer's supplements. William writes, my impression is that his work is either so personal that its nature and meaning are none of our business, or that the ins and outs of it are so intricate and obscure that even a detailed explanation would be quite beyond our grasp. So important. Intricate and obscure matlab jatil or aspashta. As it is always discussed, what type of work exactly Baba did with the mass. So this interpretation of Dr. Donkin is very important. It is none of our business. As Baba rightly said, whatever I do with mass is totally our personal matter, my personal matter. Baba, these are Baba's word, my personal matter between must and me. So even if he says Baba would have given the detailed description, we could not have understood it. Yeah, rightly said. Very important. The trip to the Himalayas certainly was not preceded by a lengthy rest or build-up of strength for the followers. The party had just come off of must journeys to Bombay and Calcutta. It was Baba's fourth visit to Calcutta, with other trips made in 1940, 1943, and 1945. From Calcutta, the group had taken a train to Hardwar and then traveled by bus to Rishikesh. Here, coolies were hired to transport the luggage to Uttarkashi. Baba and the group then took another bus from Rishikesh to Tehri Garhwal, where they rested a day before starting their 40-mile walk. Williams' book provides embellished details of the journey. मतलब अलंकारिक भाषा में उसने इस प्रवास का वर्णन किया है. वो लिखता है, think then of this little town of Tehri, buried in a hot and steamy valley, with the murky torrent of the Bhagirathi river thundering along its center, swollen by the melting snow from the great heights that are 70 और 80 miles away. तो मर्की मतलब कीचड़ वाली धारा अब नहीं दिखाई देता है क्योंकि अब डैम हो गया, लेकिन ये हमने देखा है ठिहरी. So here is a beautiful picture of the wayfarers on the background of the map of India, supposedly, I think. I request, it is on page number 119, and this picture I will request, where is, or some para are not here. We are on page number 1, yeah, this picture. The Wayfarers was first published in 1948. कितना अजीब है, 1931 में तो डॉन आए थे बाबा के पास, तो मात्र 17 साल में. The book was a major undertaking for William Donkin. At least 2 Mandali members say William became must-like himself after finishing the book, which details Baba's work with the God intoxicated of India. We turn over to page number 120. If I miss any para, please let me know. Because sometimes something is not here, sometimes something is not in your copy. I don't know. See, in your mind's eye, Donkin writes, The terraced hills cut into the mountain sides above you like giant staircases, interrupted only by irregular patches of forest, by deep cut gullies, or by outcrops of sheer rock. He describes so nicely. The foot journey would last 3 full days, and the toll was built by all. The final day, the scenery was impressive, and the track full of peasants moving up to the high pastures for the summer with their goats, sheep, cows, dogs, and tents. The path, however, was rough, and Baba's feet and the feet of those with him were painfully blistered by the time they reached Uttarkashi. जब बाबा और उनके साथ का दल उत्तरकाशी पहुंचे 3 दिन की लगातार पैदल यात्रा के बाद, तो उनके सारे पैर पर फुंसिया फोड़ आ गए थे. Although Baba seemed to prefer contact with us on the higher planes of consciousness, he would not miss the opportunity to interact with a seeker on his journeys, particularly when the person appears sincere. William relates one such incident in Hardwar, not far from Uttarkashi. 2 of Baba's disciples approached an old man in rags, sitting upon a wooden platform. Oh, okay. Started working? Okay, let me try. Okay. After completing this page. 2 of Baba's disciples, this is a very wonderful experience. 2 of Baba's disciples approached an old man in rags sitting upon a wooden platform at the side of the street. The prayer was to ask the old man about must and advanced souls in the city of Hardwar. Soon after this contact, the old man began following them through the streets. Since the tenacity of his pursuit seems not to be relaxed, Baba ordered Eroj, his close disciple, to ask why he was following them. The old man said he was seeking a guru and quoted Kabir, that there could be no realization without the help of a guru. Finally, he addressed Baba directly and said, I find you to be the right man to guide me. Wow. Baba in reply told the man to love God more and more, so that his love became like that of a fish out of the ocean, whose only desire is to return to the ocean. Baba made the man again, later on the street, and ordered 3 oranges brought and given to the man with his blessings. Wow. Baba told him to seek God within himself with an ever increasing love, and said that if he did so, he would soon see God, wrote William. Baba's identity was never divulged to the man. This is a very touching incident. I just narrate in short in Hindi. कि बाबा केवल मस्तों से ही मिलते नहीं थे, तो दूसरे ऐसे प्रगत आत्माओं से भी मिलते थे. तो ऐसे एक शहर में बूढ़े व्यक्ति से उनका पाला पड़ा और वो उनके साथ साथ चल रहा था. तो बाबा ने उनसे पूछा कि तू क्यों हमारे साथ आ रहा है. तो उसने कहा कि जैसे कबीर ने कहा है कि गुरु के बिना ईश्वर साक्षात्कार प्राप्त नहीं होता है, ऐसे गुरु की खोज में मैं हूँ, और अब तक मुझे ऐसा कोई गुरु मिला नहीं. फिर बाबा की तरफ देखते हुए उसने कहा कि मुझे लगता है यही वो परफेक्ट गुरु है जो मुझे ईश्वर प्राप्ति दिला सकते हैं. तो बाबा ने उसे बड़े प्यार से समझाया कि ईश्वर को प्रेम करते जाओ, इतना बेहद प्रेम करो कि जल बिना मछली जैसे तुम्हें ईश्वर के प्रेम के लिए तड़पना है, तब तुम ईश्वर को पाओगे. बाद में रास्ते पर फिर वो बाबा से मिला, तो बाबा ने मंगली से कहकर 3 संतरे खरीद कर उसको दे दिए। और बाबा ने उसे कहा कि ईश्वर से इतना प्रेम करो, ईश्वर को तुम्हारे अंदर ढूंढो, वो बाहर नहीं है। दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, सर्च हिम विद इन इनसाइड, और तुम जल्द ही ईश्वर को देखेंगे। उसके लिए इतना प्रेम निर्माण करो कि तुम्हें वो जल्द मिल जाएगा। बहुत सुंदर है। During Baba's stay in Uttarkashi, a total of 25 sadhus were contacted. At this point, William was approaching his 10th year in India with Meher Baba. Although on many occasions he bemoaned matlab vilap kiya, the secrecy that surrounded Baba's contact with the guarded ones. William continued on occasion to offer his personal feelings on the worth of their peculiar personalities. कि विलियम हमेशा विलाप करता था, तकरार करता था कि ये क्या सिक्रेसी है बाबा और मस्तों के बीच में, परंतु उनके साथ वो सदा रहता था और उसके बारे में उसने अपना ओपिनियन दिया है. Were you to ask a disciple of Baba's why such and such a man was a must and not a man, he would probably simply reply, because Baba says so. In other words, the average man or the average disciple is not in a position to judge these people, because his only measure is to access them by their external actions. This is very important. So nice. विलियम कहते हैं कि बाबा के किसी भक्त को अगर पूछेंगे कि तुम कैसे कह सकते कि ये मस्त है कि पागल आदमी है, तो बाबा के भक्त कहते क्योंकि बाबा कहते मस्त है इसलिए हम कहते हैं. तो ये कहते हैं कि साधारण मनुष्य को या शिष्य को मस्त और पागल में फर्क करना संभव नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोग उनकी बाहरी जो है एक्सटर्नल एक्टिविटीज को देख के ही हम तय करते हैं, हम उनके अंदर में नहीं झांकते हैं. During William's 2 years writing, the wayfarers, his insights into the world of the must opened up, especially with the additional clarifications he received from Baba. This is important. He writes, there is, however, one quality in must, in those, at any rate, who have had much contact with Baba, and this is that however strange they may behave, they might make one feel unmistakably happy in their company. Wow. They do not exhale any of that subtle antipathy, gruna, that seems to emanate from the insane, but actually kindle a sense of harmony in oneself, a harmony of which one may not be immediately aware of, but which becomes eventually a real and obvious thing. Very, very important. डॉन्किन कहते हैं कि मस्त की क्वालिटी गुण कुछ भी रहे हो, वो कौन से भी इस भूमिका का हो, बाबा के संपर्क में खास करके जो आए हैं, इनके मिलने के पश्चात उनका वर्तनूक बिहेवियर कितना भी अजीब हो, स्ट्रेंज हो, कुछ भी वो करते हो, फिर भी उनके प्रति कभी भी घृणा निर्माण नहीं होती है, परंतु बिल्कुल वो हमें हम उनको देख के खुश हो जाते हैं, एक हवा में खुशी लहराती है उनके सहवास में. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दे मेक वन फील अनमिस्टेकेबली हैप्पी. और मस्त मोहम्मद का सहवास आपने पाया होगा, कई लोगों ने, यू माइट हैव गॉट द कंपनी ऑफ, वी यूज्ड टू मीट मोहम्मद ऑफ एंड ऑन राइट फ्रॉम आवर चाइल्डहुड मेनी टाइम्स, unginat, innumerable times we met him, and really we know that when you are in his company you forget the word. That's what I remember. दूसरा, डॉन्किन कहते हैं ये इतने गंदे होते, पागल जैसे लगते, फिर भी उनके प्रति घृणा निर्माण नहीं होती है, परंतु उनके सहवास में एक भाईचारा, आत्मीयता निर्माण होती है, खुशी की लहर दौड़ती है, और यही तो है जो कि वास्तव में सच है। इसलिए आगे वो कहते हैं, Thus, if you were to ask the men at Mehrabad whether they liked or disliked Muhammad and Ali Shah, you would find, I believe, that everyone felt spontaneously attracted to them. तो वो कहते हैं कि मेहराबाद में किसी भी बाबा मंडली से अगर आप पूछेंगे कि मोहम्मद उनको पसंद है, वो बहुत काला था, बूढ़ा था, नीचे झुक गया था, लार टपकती थी, नाक बहता था, तो क्या उनसे तुमको घृणा निर्माण होती थी? तो सभी तुरंत यही कहते हैं कि बल्कि वो उसके पास तरफ आकर्षित हो जाते थे। जो बाबा लवर्स नहीं होते थे वो भी, उनका भी हमने अनुभव किया है। Anyway, आगे चलते हैं। William's final addition to the Wayfarers, which he completed in September 1949, includes Baba's work with the monks from mid-May 1948 to August 1st, 1949. The book was published in September 1949, just a month before Baba would initiate a major upset in the lives of his followers worldwide. William's approach to this final addition to the Wayfarers appears to have been vetted by Baba, who had criticized the original volume as too dry. कभी नहीं कहना कि ये विलियम का अकेले का, बाबा ने ये पूरा देखा है, चेक किया है। One can also see William's stabs, is number 122, at providing colorful description in some of his accounts, perhaps his own effort at writing down previous accounts that Baba had criticized. Baba ने कहा था ये बहुत रूखा सूखा है. His description of Ahmedabad in June 1948 might go a bit overboard in this desire to please. This city is Ahmedabad के बारे में विलियम लिख रहे हैं. William is writing about Ahmedabad. This city is a pasticcio of a place, a hodgepodge of ancient monuments, rococo villas, cotton mills, and thousands of huts, so squalid that they beggar description. In the introduction, there are two parts of Ahmedabad. We'll see that. In the introduction to the final edition, William wrote, as soon as work was started on the small volume, it became obvious that to present the full story in diary form, so that no details were left out, would be to make an admirable record of Baba's work, but a quite unreadable one.
Meherkrupa, I'm wondering if you are a little far away from the mic. Your sound is low.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll come power. I think my laptop also started, so give me a second. Okay. 1 second. I'll try to join from the laptop only. I think that will be better. I don't know what had happened. I'm not much techno savvy, but my husband restarted it and it is working now. I'll join a meeting from the laptop. 1 second. I'm sorry for this. Okay. Yeah, they have changed the password also, no? Yeah. Yeah, is it possible they try to get the...
Do you want me to read or someone
Yeah, you can. Yes,
else?
definitely.
Okay. So I can start. In the introduction to the final, you tell me if the sound is okay. In the introduction to the final edition, William wrote, let's see, we need to mute, can make sure everybody's muted. In the introduction to the final edition, William wrote, as soon as work was started in this small volume, it became obvious that to present the full story in diary form so that no details were left out would be to make an admirable record of Baba's work, but quite unreadable one. And then here's a footnote that I'll read about Ahmedabad, the largest city in the state of Gujarat, is bifurcated, meaning cut in half, but bifurcated by the river Sabarmati. The eastern side is the older part of the city with crowded bazaars, temples, jam-packed buildings, railway stations, post office, and buildings from the British era. Gandhi had 2 ashrams in the Ahmedabad area. Okay, so we go on to here. Let's see. Am I on the right page?
I'll just narrate it short in हिंदी.
Oh,
अब
okay.
वेकबेरर्स कैसा लिखना है? अगर डायरी के फॉर्म में लिखता है तो एज बाबा सेज वेरी ड्राई, क्योंकि उसमें प्रेम का कोई ये नहीं, ये दिन यहाँ गए वहां गए। और इसको डिटेल में बाबा का डिस्क्रिप्शन, कहाँ गए, कैसे यात्रा किया, क्या मुश्किलें आए, ये सब लिखना है, तो शायद लोग उसको पढ़ेंगे नहीं। तो बाबा का कहना था कि ये बहुत ड्राई हो गया है। यस, प्लीज कंटिन्यू बेटी विलियम।
Let's see. It is also important? Am I the right page? Let's see. Let me see. 123, is that right? No?
No, there are many paras in between.
Uh,
In 1949,
let's see.
had you read this in 1949? Yeah, here it is.
It is also important, is that right?
Yeah. If you have not covered that, our pages mismatch. Yeah. Yeah, it is also, you can read from here.
Okay. It is also important to note that William depended on the accounts of disciples, Erich and Baidul, for this edition, indicating that he did not accompany Baba on these trips. In 1949, Meher Baba's major work with the musts of India ended, although he would often house various musts at his headquarters at Meherabad, including Mohammed, who lived out his life there. In William's description of these final months, Baba apparently took a greater interest in his writing and would provide occasional notes on the spiritual state or stage of musts. The final year of must hunting did not turn up any outstanding musts other than when Baba and his party reconnected with a favorite must from the earlier years. Baba also widened his net in 1948 and 49 to include sadhus, and his visit to Ahmedabad was specifically to contact a large number of them. William's interpretation of the sadhu as seen through the local community's eyes provides insight into their standing throughout India. This is William talking. The Western reader should understand that sadhus as a class have a mixed reputation in India in much the same way and for much the same reasons that the monks and friars of medieval Europe had a similar reputation. William went on to point out the lofty misconceptions often evident in categorizing sadhus. Although ostensibly every sadhu is presumed to have renounced the world, most Indian householders condemn 9 out of 10 of them as wasters. There are indeed exceptions, jewels of the finest water, but there seems little doubt that the average sadhu is a petty parasite on the body of a country already emaciated by poverty. In any case, whether sadhus as a class are worthy or not, there are times when Baba contacts sadhus without any reference to their spiritual status or merits. Again, Baba's identity was always kept from the sadhus, and his disciples were not allowed to witness his work with them. Baba always gave each sadhu 5 rupees at the time of contact. And here's a note about Baidu. Baidu was
Yeah, this is important. 5 rupees. That period, 5 rupees, huh?
ah,
Hmm.
that was quite a lot. Okay,
And to that person also, Baba gave 3 oranges.
no, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, three
that's right.
words: gross word, subtle word, and mental word.
Oh my. Baidu was one of Baba's earliest mandali and was known as the must hunter because he was able to sniff out musts for Baba to work with. All right, then we go this way.
Yeah, this para is remaining. Again, Baba's identity was always kept
Mm,
from the sadhus, and his
mhm.
disciples were not allowed to witness his work with them. Baba always gave each sadhu. Oh, sorry, you have already done it.
Oh,
Okay, okay.
sorry.
तो बाबा मस्त के क्या कार्य कर रहे थे, ये कभी देखना अनुमति नहीं थी, वो सीक्रेट होता था. Yes, that the
All
group
right.
was.
That the group was still coming across interesting characters is depicted in one of William's description. Baitullah Shah is an advanced pilgrim who lives in a suburb of Ahmedabad, and he has a woman disciple who wears a gown of patches. He reads the Quran aloud from 11 o'clock every Thursday night to 3 o'clock the following afternoon, and during these 16 hours he neither eats, drinks, nor sleeps.
बाप रे, वाह.
Baba and his disciples later traveled to Madras on the southeast coast of India. The musts he visited and met with there were often those he had previously contacted. On a number of occasions the musts would give Baba gifts of food and special keepsakes, indicating that these were last contacts. Baba always cherished these gifts, devouring the, the food items given and often planting the seeds from the fruit on the land surrounding Meherabad or Meherzad upon his return. Part of Baba's intention in going to Madras was to go further south to Tiruvallar, which was close to Negapatam and the home of Chatti Baba, who was one of Baba's one of his 5 favorite musts. 6 plain musts, Chatti Baba maintained a nomadic lifestyle in the area, but he was so well known that the locals usually always knew where he could be found. The group was disappointed by Chatti Baba's condition when they found him, however, for he, once known for his pleasing smile, was now emaciated and looked sad and old, and they felt he had not long to live. William
One
said,
वन सेकंड.
okay,
2 चीजें. एक बैतुल्ला शाह जो अहमदाबाद का था, ये कुरान पढ़ता था 16 घंटे तक. ये रात के 11 बजे शुरू हो जाता था, तो गुरुवार के, और पूरा रात पढ़ के अगले दिन के दोपहर रात के 3 बजे तक. तो 16 घंटे में वो ना खाता था, पीता था, ना ही सोता था. और चट्टी बाबा को जब उसके प्रदेश में लाया लोगों को मिलने के लिए, तो उसमें बहुत फर्क पाया लोगों ने. यूजुअली चट्टी बाबा हैप्पी, खुश मिजाज, हंसता हुआ रहता था, मोटा था. पर जब बाबा के यहाँ से आया तो देखा कि उसकी हंसी गायब हो गई, वो दुखी है, बूढ़ा लग रहा है. तो इतने दिन बाबा के साथ रह करके, जो भी बाबा की कोशिश होती थी मस्तों को या तो इस विश्व का भान देने की, या आगे उनका यात्रा पुश करने का, स्पिरिचुअलिटी में, उनको आध्यात्मिकता में. इस कारण ये हो गया होगा, जो भी है. या प्लीज कंटिन्यू. विलियम सेड.
okay, William said that while Baba will stint neither time nor trouble nor expense in promoting their well-being, very often the general population will ignore these eccentrics. If a perfect master shows that a faultless patience is indispensable when working with musts, it is hardly surprising that ordinary people, even though they may respect a must, will seldom go to the trouble and expense of housing and feeding him for long, And this explains, perhaps, why Chati Baba is not well cared for.
या वन सेक तो यहाँ पर बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि विलियम कहते हैं जो मस्तों के बारे में है तो ये भले हमको लगता है सनकी है, जनरल जो पब्लिक है यही देखती है कि वो पागल जैसे है, विलक्षण है और उनके लिए खर्च करना वगैरह, तो साधारण व्यक्ति जो है इनके लिए किसी मस्त को अपने घर में बुलाकर लंबे समय तक उसकी देखभाल करके उसके लिए खर्चा करना, उसको घर में खाना खिलाना लंबे समय के लिए संभव नहीं था। और इसीलिए चट्टी बाबा का इस प्रकार से केयर नहीं लिया गया था। या ये बहुत रियली इट इज डिफिकल्ट नो टू लुक आफ्टर मस्त, keep him in the house for a long time and look after him, his whims is really difficult. Yes, please.
While traveling along the southeastern coast of India, an incident occurred that involved a theft, showing Baba's approach to such thieves. The youth involved had a palsied hand and had tried to steal a 10 rupee note from one of the Mandalis. Hold on. Let's see.
बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कहानी है, उनको पहले पढ़ने दो फिर मैं हिंदी में आपको। ओके।
One of the Mandali's pockets. When the youth was caught, the Mandali member.
Betty, your voice is little.
Oh, really?
Let's
try.
Forward to the comment.
Okay.
Over.
Let me see.
Story.
Okay.
मेरी आवाज ठीक है सुषमा जी?
Is better now?
Yes, आपकी आवाज ठीक है.
Okay, I'll take over for some time.
Okay.
Maybe now her laptop tired.
No, I fixed it, but go
Down
ahead.
energy, Baba. While traveling along the southeastern coast of India, an incident occurred that involved a theft, showing Baba's approach to such thieves. The youth involved had a palsied, matlab kaapta, palsy or pulsed hand and had tried to steal a 10 rupee note from one of the Mandali's pockets. When the youth was caught, the Mandali member he robbed wanted to call the police immediately, but Baba said no and forgave the would-be theft on the spot. He punished him only by twisting his ear gently and admonishing him never to steal again. William's interpretation of how Baba dealt with the youth provides insight into the spiritual master as the strategist. The most obvious feature is bound up with the question of why people do anti-social acts. Psychologists and others are beginning to insist that delinquency is a symptom of a psychic disease that is not necessarily the fault of those who suffer from it. And they say that we should seek to heal delinquents rather than punish them. Delinquents means aparadhi. William's take on how Baba handled the situation was that he had responded in the same manner the contemporary psychologist would have. He says further in his free flow narrative, Donkin says, the final feature is a spiritual one and is bound up with the fact that Baba, because he is a perfect master, is one with the divine ground of all living beings. He therefore knows the fons et origo, means source and origin of this man's pulsed arm, and the full course of his psychic melody, and he feels his torment as he stands exposed as a thief. But though he feels this torment, He is its master also. And having allowed the youth to suffer this first vicious cut to his self-conceit Mitswabhiman, he now catches him off his guard and gives him a more than human absolution and a draught of divine love that he will remember for the rest of his days. Baba's Mandali are well acquainted with this technique, and for it is one that Baba has used on each of them. तो यहाँ पर एक बहुत टचिंग कहानी है कि जब ये लोग भारत के दक्षिण पश्चिम में दक्षिण पूरब में यात्रा कर रहे थे, तो ऐसी एक घटना हुई। एक चोर ने मंडली के किसी मेंबर के जेब में से 10 रुपए चुराने की कोशिश की। वो मंडली मेंबर तुरंत उसको पुलिस के हवाले करना चाहा था, लेकिन बाबा ने उसको मना किया और पनिशमेंट के नाम में बाबा ने खाली उसका कान थोड़ा सा ट्विस्ट किया, दैट्स ऑल। और उसको बाबा ने थोड़ा सा डांटा और उसको ये बताया कि वापस कभी भी चोरी नहीं करना, इतना कहकर बाबा ने छोड़ दिया उसको। तो डॉन्किन यहाँ इस घटना की पूरी छानबीन मतलब डिसेक्शन कर रहे इसको, ये बहुत सुंदर तरीके से एनालिसिस किया है डॉन्किन ने इसका। वो कह रहे हैं कि उसका हाथ जब वो नोट चुरा रहा था तो कांप रहा था। पल्सीड मतलब कांप रहा था, पैरालिसिस। तो इसका अर्थ यह है कि वो डर रहा था। उसका दूसरा अर्थ यह है कि उसके नई नई चोरी होगी। तो वो कहते कि जैसे कोई साइकोलॉजिस्ट जैसा करता था कि उसका रीजन क्या है, उसके पीछे का कारण क्या है, वो जान करके उसका रेमेडी करने का। तो बाबा ने यही किया, और केवल एक बेस्ट साइकोलॉजिस्ट जैसा बाबा ने ट्रीटमेंट उसको नहीं किया। तो उसको जो अनंत दैवी प्रेम बाबा ने दिया कि उसके सहारे वो अपना पूरा जीवन काट सकता है, वापस वो ऐसी गलती नहीं कर सकता है, और इस प्रकार से वो दैवी प्रेम के सहारे पूरा अपने दिन वो जीवन जी सकता है। ऐसा सुंदर यहाँ पर दिया है। The human caravan kept moving, leaving southern India and traveling to the northwest coast to Junagadh near the Pakistan border. Junagadh famous जगह है, but still we'll read the footnote. Junagadh is an ancient city of temples, museums, palaces, and caves on the northern fringes of the Gir forest. The features many hills, a fort, and a flora and fauna nature reserve. It is one of the few places where Asiatic lions still roam free. Junagadh. The city is famous as a place of pilgrimage. The hill of Datar is a climb of many thousand steps. Datar is named after Bapu's Mil Shah Datar, a god-realized being of ancient times. It is said that Datar disappeared in a cave near the summit of the hill, never to be seen again. Today, pilgrims still come to the cave to pay homage to the saint. Baba wanted to spend 2 days in seclusion on the hill, fasting on water only. Baba had contacted a monk in Junagadh with whom he wished to spend the 2 days. और बाबा ने वहाँ 2 दिन बिताए। इट्स वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट कि वहाँ पर दातार करके सीढ़ियों वाली जगह है, वहाँ पर ऐसी कहानी है कि बापूस मिल शाह दातार जो है ये ईश्वर साक्षात्कारिक व्यक्ति थे पुराने समय में। और एक दिन वो ये गुफा के अंदर गए, कभी भी बाहर नहीं आए। लोग इस गुफा को खास भेंट देते हैं उस संत की याद में। गॉड रियलाइज मीन्स गॉड एज गुड एज गॉड। सो यहाँ पर बाबा 2 दिन वो पहाड़ी पे, नोट इट डाउन इन योर डायरी, तो पहाड़ी पर बाबा ने 2 दिन सेक्लूजन वो मस्त के साथ कार्य किया। After this seclusion period ended, Baba and his men climbed one of the peaks of the nearby Girnar hills, which are steeped in spiritual folklore. In ancient times, anyone could legally throw himself to death from the cliffs. The act, however, was not prompted by any personal disaster, but was undertaken, it seems, by those who aspired to pass on to a better and higher posthumous existence, writes William in The Wayfarers. The next stop on the adventure was Delhi and then on to the Ajmer, one of Baba's favorite must haunts. For Ajmer, there is a footnote. Baba had been here several times. Ajmer, surrounded by the Aravalli Mountains, is a place of pilgrimage to tombs of saints as well as a center of culture and education. It has a 7th century fort, and to the north is an artificial lake made in the 12th.
No sound. Jai Baba, no sound.
You
क्या
Sheila,
कहा?
आवाज नहीं आ रही.
you're
आवाज नहीं आ रही. So now, Diana, I will
बहुत आ
request
रही आवाज.
you. Something is happening today. So now Diana will read. Please go ahead from. You have to read page number 125. And
Oops, I'm sorry.
it's okay. The next stop, you can take over from the next stop.
Uh,
Can you? No problem, I hope.
I can read, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah, page 125, the next stop. The para starts with the next stop.
Okay, just a second.
Ahead. The next stop on the.
Okay, I've got it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The next stop on the adventure was Delhi, and then on to Ajmer, one of Baba's favorite must haunts. From there, they traveled south again to Baroda, where they reconnected with Chambu Shah, one of Baba's old must contacts. Chambu Shah was given new clothes, and Baba later wore the must's old ones for a period of time. William focused on this meeting to point out some common interpretations of the strange contacts. Those who dismiss as errant nonsense the notion that so-called musts are anything more than madmen or eccentrics may look upon Chambu Shah with opprobrium or extreme scorn, or who may condemn him as hypocritical and a possible lecherous eccentric who trades on the credulity of dupes. It is worth recording that most of those who go with Baba on these tours can be as cynical as any of you incisive intellectuals and as worldly wise as the most hard-headed Yorkshiremen. So, okay, from Baroda, the group again went westward to the coastal area and Morvi. So, should I read Ajmer and Morvi?
Yeah, one sec.
Okay.
That one paragraph, there are many words difficult for us. I'll just. William says, those who dismiss as arrant nonsense the notion that so-called must are anything more than. तो ये हो सकता है कि जो ऐसे लोग होते हैं मस्त, ये तो ऑप्रोब्रियम मतलब अपमान, तिरस्कार, उनका व्यवहार ऐसा होता है मस्तों का कि ऐसा लग सकता है कि वो पागल जैसे कर रहे हैं और लेचरस और एसेंट्रिक मतलब भ्रष्ट है, भ्रष्टाचरण कर रहे हैं, अय्याशी है, कुख्यात है, पागलों जैसा कर रहे हैं, who treads on the credulity of dupes. तो ऐसा लगता है कि ये भोला भी है. It is worth recording that most of those who go with Baba on these tours can be as sin. तो बाबा के साथ ऐसे टूर पर जो जाते थे वो भी उतने ही पागल थे. Incisive intellectuals जैसे भेदक एकदम ऐसे व्यक्ति थे, वर्ड वाइज एज द मोस्ट हार्ड हेडेड. एक बहुत सुंदर ये वर्णन किया है beautiful description, Donkin, and really the truth. It was not easy. It
No.
was so hard to go with Baba on such trips, and that's why Baba used to select only the selected one who can tolerate such journeys. They were never getting proper rest, sleep, food, and when they used to come, they were all like beggars, dirty clothes, and no shaved and all that. So on such one occasion when he was to go and meet Mehra, so first Baba goes, takes bath, put on good cloth, that if Mehra sees me in such condition, she will be sad. Yeah. Yes.
Did you want to read the?
From Baroda, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
Morvi, there is a footnote on Morvi. You can read and then move forward from Baroda.
okay, you said Ajmer as well. So Ajmer, surrounded by the Aravalli Mountains, is a place of pilgrimage to tombs of saints, as well as a center of culture and education. It has a 7th century fort, and to the north is an artificial lake made in the 12th century. Morvi on the Machu River is a prosperous city-state in Gujarat. It is famous for its architecture and buildings. Known as the Paris of India, Morvi has the Green Tower, inspired by the Eiffel Tower. So coming back to the text, after that, they moved on to Ahmed, is that Ahmednagar? Oh, Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad, that is in Gujarat, capital of Gujarat, Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad. And then headed back home to Mehrabad and Merazad. You may imagine then that Baba's men, when they left Ahmedabad for home, were dreaming of 4 heavenly blessings only: a lavish bath, the touch of spotless linen, the taste of a solid meal, and the bliss of sleep on a clean bed for 1,000 years, says William of the Mood at the time. William
विलियम कहते हैं कि कल्पना करो जब बाबा और उनके साथ के जो व्यक्ति इस मस्त टूर से वापस आ गए मेहराबाद, तो उनको केवल क्या चाहिए था? अच्छा खाना, एक बहुत बढ़िया नहाना, और साफ कपड़े, और मस्त पैके सालों तक सो जाना, क्योंकि they were deprived of all these things when they were on the must tour.
William did not go on all the must tours, and accounts indicate he was often staying at Merazad, Baba's newly opened residential compound. Merazad is situated 9 miles north of Ahmednagar, and Mehrabad, the larger center, is 6 miles south of the city. Living with Baba changed with the move to Merazad. Baba's English disciple, Kitty Davy, who lived there until 1952, describes the altered atmosphere in her book, Love Alone Prevails. There was a big change in Merazad. Things were never quite the same after Baba moved there. There was much more laxity. Baba's training must have been complete. Only a few.
मेहराजाद आने के बाद थोड़ा सा ढील हो गया. मेहराजाद का वातावरण आश्रम से भी एक घर जैसा था. There is a सुंदर beautiful note on this Meherazad. We'll complete that part. Yeah.
Only a few were called to live at Merazad. Those who were less moody, who needed less pampering, who knew how to stand on their own feet more, who didn't worry Baba with their little worries and troubles. Kitty described Merazad as more like a family home, one that had been established with his chief woman disciple Mera in mind. I felt it was different. It was Mera's home. Baba had trained Mera up until then absolutely strictly. Then she became free. In Urdu, Merazad means Mehera, free or relaxed. Kitty points out that Baba was now more attentive to Mara and that she needed this move now that she was older.
Yeah, we'll stop here at this point, huh? For the day. Shall we stop here? Because Mehra's birthday, so this is first time I am hearing this description in a different way. मेहरा यहाँ क्या कहते हैं वो मालूम? वो कहते हैं कि अभी तक मेहरा को बाबा ने इतना स्ट्रिक्ट डिसिप्लिन में रखा था पर्दे में वगैरह, अब यहाँ आकर ये मेहरा का घर था, यहाँ मेहरा को बाबा ने फ्री कर दिया, आजाद कर दिया. सो मेहरा मेड आजाद, मेहरा मेड फ्री, इसलिए मेहरा आजाद ऐसा नाम है. ये कीटी का मुझे ये बड़ा प्यारा लगा. आप लोगों को कैसा लगा? आई रियली लाइक दिस इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ किटी. मेहरा को आजाद कर दिया बाबा ने, यहाँ मेहरा इज फ्रीड एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट इज मेहरा आजाद. सो it is also the month of Mehra's birthday, just few days we had, and then Mani's birthday. So we will stop here for the day and for the year, I think. And Happy New Year to all. Coming 26, we'll meet in the 26 only, I suppose. And thank you so much. Thank you, Betty, dear Diana. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, all of you. And I request today to sing Aarti to Deshpande Bhau. Jai Baba. मेरा भी है, नीलम जी है. देशपांडे भाऊ, जागे आहात की झोपलात? जय बाबा. देशपांडे भाऊ, जय बाबा. It's quite possible while listening he has gone sleep. मेहरा जय बाबा. अच्छा, देशपांडे हो उठले का, जागे झाले का? जय बाबा.
जाग्यात होतो, फक्त त्याला हे बटन हे केलं. हा बोला.
ओके ओके सर. ठीक आहे, आरती म्हणा, फक्त इंग्लिश वाली नका म्हणू, कुठली हिंदी मराठी कुठलीही म्हणा, गुजराती म्हणा, कारण आपले जरा उच्चार वेगळे असतात ना.
हो हो.
सो
जिथे कल मराठी मीच म्हणू ना.
हो हो, अवतार मेहर बाबा की
बाबा
जय.
की जय. जिथे कल्पना शब्द न जाती, ऐसा परंपार नेती म्हणून वेद ही तकले, महिमा तुझा अपार. मैं हर अवतारा स्वीकारा, आरती तुमची केली, मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. हो मैं हर अवतारा स्वीकारा, आरती तुमची केली, मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. धूप जाळोनी दीप लावणी, पुष्पे अर्पोनी हो बाबा, पुष्पे अर्पोनी. मोठेपण का मजला तुमचे, तुम्हा देऊनी. हो मैं हर अवतारा स्वीकारा, आरती तुमची केली, मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. तुम्हीच कारक तुम्हीच तारक, आदि तुम्ही अंती हो बाबा, आदि तुम्ही अंती. तुमच्या सम हो तुम्हीच देवा, दुसरी नावती. हो मैं हर अवतारा स्वीकारा, आरती तुमची केली, मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. तुमची माया सर्व चराचर, छाया ही तुमची हो बाबा, छाया ही तुमची. अनंत तुम्ही थोर विन कळे, वर्णावी कैसी हो मेहर तारा, स्वीकारा आरती ही तुमची, केली मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. माझा मजला ठावन महिमा, सांगो तव कैसा हो बाबा, सांगो तव कैसा. अज्ञपणे मी गातो भजतो, माझा भाव असा हो मेहर अवतारा, स्वीकारा आरती ही तुमची, केली मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. कृपावंत तुम्ही असीम तुम्हा, काय कुणी द्यावे हो बाबा, काय कुणी द्यावे. एक मागणे स्मरण तुझे नित, तव भक्ता भावे हो मेहर अवतारा, स्वीकारा आरती ही तुमची, केली मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. हो मेहर अवतारा, स्वीकारा आरती ही तुमची, केली मनी निरंजनी लावणी ज्योत मनाची. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, प्रियतम मेहर प्रभु की जय. जय बाबा.
जय बाबा. थैंक यू देशपांडे, बढ़िया. That is जहाँ कल्पना in Marathi.
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
जय बाबा मिस्टर राज, जय बाबा संतोषी जी, नीलम जी, यास्मीन जी, सुषमा जी. How are you? Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas.
जय बाबा.
अच्छा,
जय
मैं क्या
बाबा.
कह रही, हम सब लोग
जय
मिलके बाबा
बाबा.
की जय करेंगे और इन सब लोगों को हैप्पी क्रिसमस करेंगे. कैसा आइडिया है? चलेगा? यास्मीन जी, जय बाबा.
जय बाबा.
हाँ, अपना
जय.
वीडियो खोल के दरस दिखाइए. अपना
क्या
अपना
दिखाएं?
वीडियो खोल दीजिए, संतोषी जी, मीरा जी, और सब मिलके सबको हैप्पी क्रिसमस का बोल दीजिए.
Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
जय बाबा. मैरी क्रिसमस टू एवरीवन. जय बाबा.
Maybe Mehra
जय
can
बाबा.
sing
जय
also
बाबा.
then.
हैप्पी जय बाबा. जय बाबा. जय बाबा.
We see you in the new year. Yes, Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
हैप्पी न्यू ईयर.
ये बोल दो. हाँ, नहीं मेहरा ऐसे गा के बोलो ना यार, गा के बोल ना, गा के बोल ना मेहरा. हाँ.
नहीं ऐकलं.
हैप्पी न्यू ईयर.
हैप्पी. कसं म्हणतात पण ते.
Happy happy Baba New Year, full of Baba love, Baba remembrance.
Happy Baba's New Year. Happy Baba's New Year. Happy Baba's New Year. Happy Baba's New Year. अवतार में
Baba ki jai.
Nice. That was nice. Jai Baba.
ठीक है, जय बाबा. अवतार मेहर बाबा
बाबा
की
जय.
अवतार मेहर
मेहर
बाबा
बाबा
की
की जय.
अवतार
मेहर बाबा की जय.
जय. थैंक यू बाबा, थैंक यू ऑल. जय बाबा.
जय बाबा. जय
बाबा.
बाबा to everyone.